Great crowd. Thanks for coming out. So, as he said, I'm originally from Waukegan, Illinois. It's a suburb of Chicago. Waukegan's got a couple weird rules. You're only allowed to open a new business if it's a taqueria or an auto parts store. Apparently working on your car makes you crave tacos very badly. I went to high school in Waukegan, pretty big high school, 3,500 people, and I wanted to fit in. One of the things about my high school was it was 85% black and Hispanic. I hope that doesn't offend anybody to say black and Hispanic. I was telling somebody that the other day, and they say, you shouldn't say black or Hispanic, you should say minority. And I said, I can't do that because if anybody makes up 85% of a population, that's not the way the word minority works, Mom. So I wanted to fit in, and around the age of 16, I made a decision. I said, I know how I'm going to do it. I am going to be a thug. I'm just going to be straight gangsta. It sounds even weird hearing me say that out loud, doesn't it? So as you can see, that didn't work out. I didn't grow out of it. A lot of times you have awkward phases, and eventually you just grow out of it. I didn't. I actually got it beaten out of me by the thug fact checker. He said, you know what? He's uncomfortable getting naked in the shower after gym class. Check one. He gets picked up every day after school by his mom in a minivan. Check two. He cries when I hit him in the head repeatedly. Check three. You're not a thug. Yeah, so. You know, the thing is, though, you got to be comfortable with who you are. So I just kind of took a little bit of who I was then and who I am now, and you put them together. Hey, I love rap music. I know I'm a huge fan of Jay-Z, right? But I also like the Dave Matthews Band. And there's only 2 black people in the world who like the Dave Matthews Band. The 2 black guys in the Dave Matthews Band. Yeah, you know, hey, I'm a big fan of Chris Rock, probably my favorite comic, but I'm also a fan of Larry the Cable Guy. I love Tyler Perry, but I also like The Cosby Show. Yeah, that's the right one, guys. Yeah, you might not agree at first, but let me tell you this. Theo Hustable doesn't want to meet the thug fact checker either. So, you know, the thing is, you just got to be comfortable with who you are. Another thing about me is I'm not a drinker. And anytime I get together with people, you know, work friends, stuff like that, they go, oh, do you have a problem? It's okay if you do. No, I don't have a problem. And after they realize I'm not in the 12-step program, they make the first decision. They go, well, you're going to drink tonight. You are going to get plastered. They say it in that really weird voice, too. And so I say, I'm just not going to do it. And they always try and get me to drink the same drink. Sambuca. Anybody, you ever had Sambuca? Go ahead and clap if you have. Sambuca is a licorice-flavored drink. Apparently, I am so fat, the way they think they're going to trick me into drinking is to say that it tastes like candy. Yeah, and it tastes like licorice. Licorice sucks. Okay, that's not good candy. Let me tell you, I speak for fat people everywhere. If you get a drink that tastes like a Snickers bar, we will get into drinking. Okay. And by the way, I've never had a Butterfinger, and it made my chest burn for a half hour afterwards. You know, so I work in a call center. That's interesting. I didn't go to college. So that's pretty much the top of the job food chain if you didn't. We talked to people all day about their credit cards. On my first day on the job, I was working third shift, and a lady calls in and she goes, she's crying and she says, I need you to increase the limit on my credit card because I need to bail my son out of jail. And I said, well, I won't be doing that. So why don't you take this time to think about some of the bad parenting decisions you made over the last 18 years, since you won't be getting that money. That was my last night on the phone. Yeah, they came up to me pretty quickly after that, and they said, Adam, we like you. We don't want to fire you, so we're going to put you in quality. I said, what is quality? I don't even know what quality is. They said, we want you to listen to other people's calls. And if anybody says anything that you think you would say to a card holder, fail them immediately in the letter. I like working at the call center because I have health insurance. I had to go to the dentist the other day. That is the worst. I called my dentist. I called my health insurance and they made an appointment at the dentist. And so I took the day off work and I pulled up outside and every letter in the sign was a different color. They made an appointment for me at Cool Smiles. If you're not laughing, let me explain Cool Smiles to you. It's a child's dentist. So I went in, and after the receptionist stopped laughing, she said, "Where's your kid?" I said, "It's just me," and she found that to be hilarious. She showed me around. They had a TV with Blue's Clues, but it was a rerun. Pictures of cartoon characters all over the wall, coloring books, and they had a ball pit and a slide. But the whole time I was there, people were looking at me weird, but I gotta say, you shouldn't show me the slide if you don't want me to use it. But the whole day was embarrassing. Eventually, they called me back there, and the first thing they said they wanted to do was to get an x-ray, but because it's a kid's dentist, they don't have one of those lead bibs that will fit me. It's this big. Yeah, it's the size of the shoe on my shirt. Yeah, and I said, "I'm not comfortable with this. Is this really safe?" And she says, "Oh yeah, absolutely." But she kept leaving the room to take the picture, so I don't think it was. Yeah, let me tell you another thing that was embarrassing. It's a kid's dentist, so they don't have a full-size adult scale. You have never been embarrassed unless you've had your legs weighed one at a time. Yeah, they said, "We're just going to guesstimate the rest." Yeah, it was bad. I'm sitting in the chair. I look like a scene out of Gulliver's Travels. I keep expecting people to come out and lash me to the ground. They come in and they say, "You need a root canal." I say, "Great, let's fire it up." I took the whole day off work. I'm ready to go. And they say, "Oh, you misunderstand. We don't do root canals." I said, "Well, who would do root canals? Someone like a dentist?" And they said, "Oh yeah, but not this dentist, a different dentist without a slide in the lobby." So they made an appointment for me, and I went to the other dentist, got 2 root canals, and when he's done, he says, "Hey, just a quick question for you, since you're really good at talking right now. Where are you going to go to get the crowns?" And I said, "Crowns? I don't even know what you're talking about. Why don't you do it? I got the whole day off work. Just fire it up. Let's do the crowns right now. I'm ready to go." He goes, "Oh no, I don't do crowns." Who would do crowns? Someone like a dentist? He says, "You know what, actually, you know who does great crowns? Cool Smiles." Thanks a lot, guys. That's my time.